our podcast, Brothers of Many Words. I'm your host, RP. I'm joined here this evening by my other co-host and special guest we have here this evening. Why don't you gentlemen go ahead and introduce yourselves?
What's going on? This your boy King Mackey. Good to see y'all.
This is
And this is
King Christopher Wilkins.
King Corey, man. It's good to see y'all tonight.
Yeah, and Corey, how's everybody doing this evening?
Hey, wonderful, wonderful.
Doing good. Doing
right.
wonderful,
Loving life.
wonderful.
That's
Yes.
right. Everybody have a good week this week
Yes.
so far.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just started
Yes, sir.
though, but you know how it goes.
Yeah.
It just started,
Oh,
but it's
Right,
beautiful.
right.
Already. So we're going to before we get this thing started, I'm going to say a little bit of maybe some words of inspiration. And, throughout times in life, we have these moments where it seems a little dark and whatnot, and times are hard. As they say, you're in that dark spot. You're in that dark
Right.
spot, trying to find your way out of it. And so I came across this quote, and I'm just going to read this here for a little bit of inspiration, so to speak.
Yes,
So
sir.
it goes: You are in the dark. It's okay. You are scared. It's okay. Do not run. Instead, teach the dark how to speak in beautiful colors.
There you
I
go.
love that.
There you go.
I
Love
like
that
that.
so
Yes.
I like that.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
Loving
That is
it.
You can
great.
find
Yeah.
your way out of anything, brother.
Right. You sure can.
I mean,
You
if you
sure
think
can.
about it, I mean, on a deeper note, black, the color of black, dark is all colors. So you're
Yeah.
teaching the dark. how
That
to
is
see
true.
the color.
That's very true.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a
There you
great
go.
point. That's
That
a
is a
great
wonderful
point.
point. That's a wonderful point.
So tonight's show is going to be open mic night.
All right.
Uh,
All right.
Open mic night. So
No,
what we're going to do here is we're going to pick five random topics. Five random topics. We'll discuss each topic as it is picked. Discussion time for each topic will be 10 minutes apiece. Uh, so that's roughly, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 minutes for each person, so to speak. Everybody will get a chance to speak on that. So, with that being said, I'm gonna reach into this bowl and I'm gonna pick the first topic.
All right. Here we
yo,
go.
All right.
Here we go.
What we got? Let's go.
All right. So, okay, why we're here? Question number one: What truth are you seeking that you're not getting elsewhere? Why? Why is this group? Why does this group matter? Number one: What? What we're tired of pretending we don't know. What growth looks like as men. Very good. Action. Each man states one personal intention of one personal. Is that intention? Yeah, intention for the group. So again, what truth are you seeking that you're not getting elsewhere? Why this group matters? What we're tired of pretending we don't know, and what growth looks like as a man. Peru.
Man.
Peru.
Man, that's kind of all bundled up together, ain't
It is, brother.
it? So, what truth am I seeking that I'm not getting elsewhere? Okay. You know what? I would have to say what we started and how this book club started was seeking knowledge overall, just seeking knowledge. And I felt like I wasn't getting that elsewhere. It's not something I really learned in school, college. It's one of these situations where, you need to be self taught. You need to be self-taught, and so that's something that I am seeking and continue seeking. And I think that is one of the aspirations of life, is that you're really never bored because you're constantly seeking for something.
Corey.
I'm off.
Yeah. Okay. So like, I'm all about brotherhood and seeking knowledge and like Haru said, I'll piggyback on what he said. We didn't get it taught at school, and I think it's important to learn for yourself. We live in a society where TV, social media, and a lot of misconceptions and stuff, and think so it's just for me. I'm all about the brotherhood, man, and
Right.
seeking the knowledge, like you said, for myself, and holding each other accountable.
Yeah.
And I've been knowing Haru, man, probably for about 30 plus years, and it's been some times where we hadn't talked, but we pick right back up, and so that's what I enjoy about this. If that, hopefully that answers one of the questions correctly, though.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
all I
sir.
got.
That's what's up. But I love you, Corey. I love you, bro.
Hey, hey,
Right.
I don't know you either, man, but I love you.
Love you too, Chris. Love you too, man.
Well, so what was the exact questions we were supposed to answer right now? I apologize, man.
So no, don't worry about it. It says, "What truth are you seeking that you're not getting elsewhere?" So there's three questions here. You don't have to answer all of them. You just pick one. Why this group matters? What you're tired of pretending we don't know? What growth looks like as a man?
Um, so when King Mackey first brought this up to me, um, one of the things me and him had a conversation for a couple hours in my office, and he brought up a statement that I said to him on his way out of the gym one day, and I said, "I love you, brother," and he said it back to me. I was glad that was reciprocated, and then when he brought it up to me, days after the fact, he said that I appreciate you that you said that, man.
That's right.
And the reason why I'm here is I'm tired of the separation we have amongst us men, and also these made up races that our government institutes has brought up and dividing our country and also the world. And I want to see the division go away and for us to unify.
Very good.
Not to be afraid to express love to another man without
That's
fear
right.
of, oh, you're gay or you're a homo.
That's right.
No,
That's right.
we need to get rid of that ideology and that thought process, and we need to start loving other people.
That's right. That's right. That's very good. And so,
Yeah.
for me, why this group matters. I started this journey a few years ago, and uh, by myself. And as they say, the road to success or whatever that road may be, it's a lonely one. And I thought for sure, that I would be by myself 10 years down the road. However, that has happened much quicker. And so this is why this group matters. This is why you kings are special to me, because you are allowing me to be able to show a side of myself, to show and speak a side of myself that I'm not going to get a very good chance to do outside of this arena. And this is what growth looks like as men. What we're doing right here, right now. This is what growth looks like as men.
Yes, sir.
10-4.
Hey,
2-4. Well put. Well put.
All right.
absolutely.
On for the next one. What we got here? Okay. All right.
Here we go.
Topic
Here we
number
go.
2.
All right.
Children. Should they be brought into this world given the state of affairs currently? Corey.
Ooh, I was blessed to have I've been married twice, so I have 6 kids, and I love my children. But I mean, I can't really, and I'm glad they came the way they came. So far as me and that personal question, I will welcome them in, because I know that if I have the tools ready to raise them in a supportive counterpart, I believe that we can bring them in this world. Even though this world right now is tumultuous, to say the least, I do believe that my wife and I could do a great job on ushering in kids. Yeah. So that's all I got.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to Corey, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely, 100%. We should be having as much children as possible.
Yes.
And in my opinion, it doesn't matter what the state of society is when you're having your kid. And we need more kids. I mean, we have a problem right now. We have a society. I don't like to call left or right or anything, but in our country, and we see this in other parts of the world as well, we have a culture that's, with homosexuality and transgender and all these things that are here. I know these are words that some people don't like to talk about, but I love freedom and understand it. If you want to have the freedom to do those things as an adult, but when you think about that, that produces no children. And if we continue to do that, I mean, our population is already going down now. And the people that are having children, like we need to have children if we want to continue as a human race. For one,
Yes.
children are very important. That's almost the reason why we're here,
Yes.
is to continue to pass down the knowledge. That we're here to seek knowledge, right? What's the point of seeking all this knowledge if we don't have a reason to pass it on?
Right.
Yes. Yes. And to add on to what Chris just said about the advancement of the human race, that is the only way that to perpetuate the human race is through having children. They are important, and it doesn't matter. It's to each their own as to what they want to do and decide to have children. Speaking personally, my children they've made me a better man. There is no two ways about that. Going through the things that I've gone through, and having those different human beings, all different people, different characteristics. Being a father of a big family, I mean, it is like I have to be different people and have different levels of patience and courage and understanding. And I didn't have all those things before. I did not. And, they make me beautiful because they are beautiful. And I absolutely think they need to be, no matter what is going on in the world. No matter what is going on in the world. Children are necessary.
100%.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, brothers.
100%.
Yeah, brothers. That was beautiful from each and every one of you guys. And I have to say, I'm right along with Robert. And it's funny. My son is 25. I was talking last night about this. About having kids and the sacrifices that you make, but also the beauty. You know what I mean? Each one of my kids have grown me up in some shape, form, or fashion. They have taught me a lot. And when you're raised a certain way, you generally try to raise your kids in the same way you were raised. But as you continue to have more kids, you start to raise kids in a way that you believe is necessary. And that's really based upon them. you know Watching my kids develop now, which my youngest two are 5 and 3. It's amazing watching them go through the potty training and paying attention to them and really learning patience. You know what I mean? And I think that's a key factor in this world, because if you can learn patience, man, you don't you're just never in a rush for anything. You know what I mean? Because it sure will come. So but I applaud you, brothers, for all your comments on that. And man, I like it. I feel like that to our kids, they're all one beautiful source, and we learn and grow off of them.
So let me ask this question: Does everybody here have children?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
I do.
So with that being said, do you think if you didn't have children, do you think you would? I don't know what you were before that, but what you are now. Do you think that there would have been any changes of positivity if you didn't have children? Any change, any paths for growth personally if you didn't have children? To what everything, especially what Ahuru just said about patience and understanding and all those things, do you think you could have acquired those things without having children?
I'll go ahead and chime in here. So to get a little personal, me and Mackie had our conversation we had last week, and about children and my kids personally and me. There was a point in my life where I no longer wanted to live, and I have 5 kids in total. 3 of them are stepkids, and I have 2 daughters personally. My youngest is 5, my oldest is 10. But I won't tell the whole story. But the night when I decided I was going to do that, one of my kids secretly called the cops on me, and told the cops that she saw me grab a gun and walk out of the house. She knew what was going on. And long story short, cops showed up. That did not happen that night. And that night made me realize the reason I'm alive, and the reason why I'm here, my purpose. And my purpose is to live a life of servitude. And it's not just in servitude for my child. I obviously have a responsibility to my children, but the responsibility of living a life of servitude goes far beyond my children. And I think that's actually the purpose of reason why we're here. You think of the Christ message. I don't know if you guys believe in Christ. I do. And, Christ teaches us the number one commandment he talks about is for us to have brotherly love, show love to another person, regardless of who they are, where they come from, or what they've done. In order to do that, to show true love is charity. And so true love is servitude. And from that experience, I've learned that the purpose of my life, and I think the purpose of all of our lives, is to learn how to serve another person.
That's deep, brother. That's really deep.
It is
Like,
deep.
You know,
Very
uh,
deep.
I'll I don't say this very often, to anyone, but I am a Marine, and I've been through some things. I've been through some things.
Yes, sir.
Oh man,
Yes, sir.
I don't believe
Yeah.
without my children. It's crazy that I will be in the spot that I'm in right now. That is for sure. Hearing from other people and reflecting back on that time, I was a different person. Didn't care about too much. Didn't care about too many people, for that matter. And through them, for them, because of them, man, it has been. I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be here right now. So, absolutely, I don't foresee. I don't know if I could have had that monumental change, but because of them, it's absolutely been life changing.
Definitely a power source.
Sure, sure,
Full of love. Full of love.
absolutely, brothers.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you, Robert. I wouldn't have been here either. I really had nothing. That's just really it. I
Yeah,
wouldn't have been here.
yeah. All right, we ready for number three? Number three.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. What we got here? Let's see here. Oh, all right. Topic number three: the American dream. Is that a real scenario? Harut.
Man, the American dream. Um, I don't believe it. I believe it's a mechanism, and the mechanism is based on somebody else's intentions for people. I used to see my father. He's a truck driver. He drove trucks about 50 years. And I used to go to these Teamster meetings and see these men with these gold watches on, and they're 65, 66 years old, so they're retiring. And I believed in it. I couldn't wait to be a truck driver at one time and get my gold watch and retire. And it looks like over time, it feels like over time that has dwindled. That has dwindled. So, do I believe in American Dream right now? I do not. But at one time, I truly did.
Yeah.
I did. I did.
Right on,
Cool.
man.
I yeah, the picket fence. I'm not sure what the American Dream is, but from what I remember, it was the picket fence and the house and the mortgage and all that, and raising your kids and sending them to school, and all that old chipper stuff. I mean, that's from what I remember, but
Right.
I don't really believe that. I'm not the way society. Not the way things are now. I just want my kids to be better people. I'm just trying to strive to be the best person, the best version of myself, man. That's my dream, and my dream was to change who I was, because there were some times where I made some real bad choices, and I did not And if I could go back, I definitely, I don't know if I would change anything, but the American dream, I just don't. No, not the way. I mean, I've learned that the American dream is capitalism and money, 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 and cell phones and social media and it's
Greed, yeah,
just no, and greed,
yeah,
So
yeah.
no, I don't believe in the American dream at all. I mean, I'm not. I love America. Don't get me wrong, but
Right.
for what I like you said, I don't want to get caught up in what America has to offer. Like right now, at this point in time, I'm really disappointed in the American dream and what we are representing and what we come across to as what we come across to the world. I'm really not for that. Um, but I pray for people who are in power that they make the right decisions. But no, no.
Corey, if you don't mind, I want to apologize to you, man, for you thinking that's what the American dream is, and that you've been taught wrong.
Yeah.
We've all had the facade of what the American dream is this big house and lots of money and blah 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 blah, right? That's a facade to keep you the old saying of keeping up with the Joneses.
Right.
But what the American dream is, and what was never taught to us, and what should have been taught, the real American dream, it's still available today, and it's still here within our grasp. It's slowly going away because we think the power is in the hands of our government and the people that represents us. That's not where the power is, and they know that the power is with us, the people. And we need to be united and understand that they're trying to divide us through all the media. The real American dream is you having the ability to inform yourself, you having the ability to take care of yourself, you having the ability to not have to rely on a government entity. That's what freedom is. That's what the American dream is, and we've lost that because freedom is very costly. It's not just a cost that the American soldier has spent. It's a cost to every American, and this is where our citizens have have not done their duty as an American citizen, as informing themselves instead of relying on a government entity, and then allowing the division and separation that's happened that the government has forged between us.
I agree with
American
that,
dream is
Christopher.
still alive, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said, Christopher, and I'll also add something to that too. So I guess in terms of you know, as far as the levels of inequality that goes along with that, not to make it a black and white thing or a racial thing at all, but I'm just being realistic because that is what it is and that is what it always has been. And you know, so you're right, Chris. It does, no matter what the situation is what are you what are you going to do personally to secure your part of that American dream? You're right, because you're going to have these obstacles, and it shouldn't be reliant upon the government. They make it easy to do that, and I think along the way that we have lost sight of that, and having lost sight of that, we've given up a lot of our personal integrity, so to speak, or will to fight for it, I should say, and to be reliant upon the government and to take those handouts instead of getting out here and getting the hell after it, as we should all be doing. Because it is attainable. It is attainable. You just got to go out there and get it. And it's not going to be easy because nobody's going to give it to you. You got to go get that thing. You got to go get that thing. You got to go
Freedom
get it.
stuff.
Yeah,
Freedom
It is.
stuff.
yeah,
It is. It is, and freedom. That's a word of it. Freedom. Are we free? To a certain degree, you're not totally free.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
I don't. I mean, even to look, we got like 3 more minutes on this topic.
My bad.
But no,
Cooking.
hey,
Cooking.
I respect each and every one what you guys said. I mean, I respect that. You know what I mean? And I guess even to add to what everybody said, I guess my American dream now is like I'm trying to get out of America. You know what I mean? And so because I feel like that we have no control. We have no control of our food, the air, the doctors we deal with. I mean, you think about other countries where you get free healthcare. You think about other countries where doctors get paid to heal you. You think about other countries where there's food that the ingredients in our food are illegal in other countries. You know what I mean? And so I there's no sense of freedom when I look at my child and I'm like, what am I going to feed them today? You know what I mean? My wife is big on seeded produce with seeds, and we can't even find seeded produce anymore. You know what I mean? Now we have to go outside the country, right? Or particular farms. We have to spend double the money to get the food that was already healthy for us. My wife makes our lotions because she looks at the ingredients in the lotions, or it breaks my kids out. You know what I mean? So it's almost to a point where, like I said, the freedom that we once had, it's getting smaller and smaller, and that's through every spectrum. Through every spectrum. And to me, it's not about an administration. This was, to me, something that was planned many, many, many years ago, because it's about money and greed. Do you know what I mean? The person that's speaking now is just the puppet. There are other entities that are more powerful, than we can imagine. And I remember the FBI director, Hoover, mentioned something. He had a quote out, and he basically said, I'm kind of messing the quote up, but what I got out of he basically stated that people can't even fathom the monstrous people, the people who are just monsters in this world, and the way that they are thinking. The harm that they want to put against us as a people, we can't even imagine that. We can't even phantom the thought. And so when I heard that from an FBI director, right, that let me know that, okay, you need to make some real choices and some real decisions. And this is for your family, and like Chris said, Corey, and everybody said, and your lineage.
Your lineage. Very good.
Damn right.
That's awesome. Good. Listen, that we could talk about that for 3 shows.
Bruh, yes, we could. We can go back through the round table on that one,
I mean, that's why. I mean, that's all great points, man. I mean, just wow. Just wow.
But we have to decide too. I mean, I know, brother Mackey, that you brought up, maybe leaving this country, and moving countries and moving lands ain't always a good thing. We do have something good in our country, and we have to decide as men of our country if we want to be patriots and stand up for the freedoms that were given to us, for our Bill of Rights, that's applied to every single one of us. If men decide that that's not worth fighting for, worth standing up for, then that it will crumble. And that's why our freedom is being lost, because we are being manipulated into the American dream of keeping up with the Joneses, and everyone's still stuck in that, my football team's going to win. I want to get the next car, the next UTV, the next this and this, that.
Yeah.
And everyone's wrapped up in that American dream, and we're losing the fight of the real American dream.
Well, let me pose this question to what you just said there, Christopher, about the grass may not be green on the other side, so to speak. As these streams of media and the television and everything that you hear and that you see, it is catered to give you the illusion that, well, maybe not illusion, but that America is the latest and the greatest. So with that being said, how do we know that things aren't better outside of America? Because there are other people. I mean, have you been outside? I mean, how do we know that that freedom is better in other places? I mean, you're right. It may not always be, but how do we know that it isn't in some of these places?
Well, I can't personally say that I've been to many countries. I've been to Dubai, Bahrain, Singapore, Malaysia. Singapore is probably my favorite place. All the places I've visited, and I enjoyed all those countries. All those people were very kind. When I was in Dubai, there was a lot of Islamics there, Islamic people. They're very beautiful, very kind people. The area looked nice. It didn't look run down like you see in, like they portray in other countries. Singapore.
Yeah.
Right.
Singapore was an immaculate clean country. Yeah, they have some wild laws that, if you spit on the ground, you get caned to catch you.
Right.
You can't chew gum there.
Right.
Hey, I'm
You
down
know.
for that one. I'm down for that.
But that
You
being
know,
is, I personally, I just love my country, and
Yeah.
no doubt.
it doesn't mean
No doubt.
that I love what the government is doing. I'm not in love with my government. I'm in love with when I say country, I mean the people of my country.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah.
This is the people of my country. You guys.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I got you, brother.
I'm with you.
Hey, that was a good topic, man. That was good.
That was
good.
lovely.
It was good.
Hey, that was lovely.
Yeah. All right, we're going for number four. Number four.
Here we go.
What we got in this son of a gun right now? Number four. Let's see here. So, all right. Here we go. Okay, topic number four. Power, economics, ownership. What does your money go and who controls it? So there's three angles. I'll ask the first one. Where does your money goes and who controls it? Spending and investing. So I'll start with that. Spending. I'm just now starting to get into the investing. You know, Haru had locked me on to the gold backs. And he had mentioned this so many moons ago about those gold backs, man, about 4 or 5 years ago, and I didn't pay attention. I didn't pay attention. I kicked myself in the tail. But now, it certainly piqued my curiosity and the things that he is doing. And um, as far as spending, I got a big family, so at this point in time, my money goes all to my family. Because it takes that for us to survive. We don't we don't spend it frivolously, so to speak. It's every penny counts over here to where we're at. So
Right.
that's where I'm at with investing and spending.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Can you repeat those three questions under the topic? I had, where does your money
No,
go?
what I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna answer the one. That was the first one: spending and investing. So the question was power, economics, ownership. What does your money go and who controls it?
Jump forward.
So you next, Corey. Oh, right, yeah, Corey.
For far as money, I have dreams, and my wife, we both have dreams and aspirations to save and to invest. Because one thing I don't want, I don't like a 9 to 5. I want to be able to have my money work for me, just like that's our goals, man. If I could, as far as investments, if I could have it the way I wanted to have it, I would definitely invest in the infrastructure right now. Because as you guys know, you can look everywhere here, especially here in Texas, you see all the road and bridge. The road and bridge and expanding and the expansion there. So I would definitely invest it. But as for right now, I don't. Like I have a big family as well, and I've been saved, and we have some things that we have going. So we do save pretty well, but it's just not enough. I need more passive. Personally, I need more passive income. I would like to get like later on get some passive income going, but we definitely are on the road to investing. We just don't know exactly what to invest in, but we're definitely doing a lot of research. My wife, her she's really good with investment for us, and she's done well for herself. So hopefully we'll get under her coattail and make some smart decisions here coming up next year with the money we do have. And that's all I have, gentlemen.
Hold on one second. Hold on a second. Hey, Haru, did I read that question correctly?
Yes.
I should have read all of it at the same because it is
No,
two
no, no,
other
no, no.
parts to it.
No, that's
Okay.
no, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I just
Okay.
kind of put stuff together, and you choose how you want to push it out. So,
Okay,
Right.
okay, tenfold, brother.
Okay.
All right, it's on you, Christopher.
All right. So power economics, ownership, and where does your money go?
Yes, sir.
Well, in terms of where does your money go, I think this is something that consciously, us as Americans, we need to be more conscious of is where does our money go on a daily basis. Being aware that, we're talking about this corporation, that corporation. Well, who you give your money to is going to have the power. Where the money is where the power lies. And
Sure.
so if you don't like a company and you don't like these companies and the way they're doing their service, stop giving them your money. I mean, that's where you have the power at. You are the consumer. They want you to buy their stuff. So if you don't like it, stop buying it just to have it.
Right.
Right.
Second, when it comes to investing, I think the biggest thing for all Americans is we're not taught this at all in school. I was never taught this, and I never learned this specifically until I was 33 years old when I decided to quit the workforce and go into business for myself. And I think every American should have their own business. Even if you're working for someone else, you can still have your own business and learn to contract yourself out. That's this idea of having freedom, right? I'm sorry, we're going back to the freedom thing, but the idea of having freedom, is open up your own business. Start learning how people use taxes and understand how you can, you could track your miles. I mean, there's all kinds of tax things you can use to help save your money, save your family. If you understand right now what I'm working on, is I'm trying to learn how to, once my business starts making the profit, I need to kind of really do something with that profit without having to pay taxes to the government. Another way is to bring the family involved in the business. And depending on what state you're in, there's certain laws where you can have your child as one of your employees and start giving your child income. If your child's an employee of your own company, then now you can take $20 a week and open up a insurance account or like a healthy plan savings account for your kid. All that is tax free, and then you'll have insurance for your kid. There's just a lot of power that being your own entity instead of not. I think every single American that's of age should open their own business.
Yeah.
That taught me a lot of things too about the world. I was very naive and ignorant to the world and how it functioned until I decided to go into business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm still
Yeah.
in the beginner level of business.
Yeah. 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 I agree with Chris. especially being your own entity. You know what I mean? Every American should be their own entity. Like I said, even if you have a job and you do something on the side, you create your own entity, whether you wash cars, you do something like that, because no one should be bound to one position for 30, 40, 50 years. And I guess that's my point, even going back to the American dream, is that, when the American dream commercials would come out, it was the father coming home from work and, kissing the kids and the wife or going to work, and, like Chris and I talked about, even at his gym, he's working 4 hours, on certain days, he's not going in on certain days. And I'm with him. That is freedom. You know what I mean? And I have to admit, I've had a taste of that freedom the last 7 years, and that's my thought on economics. Where my money goes, I'm like Robert, really just goes to my wife, and she dividends the money out when I ask for something, I mean,
Right.
what else should you do? I said, that's love right there. I just can give you it all, or just say, hey, can I borrow a couple $100,
Right.
And then as far as investments, I'm like every one of you guys, I am learning, but I've also learned from people around me. My dad was a big American dream, believer, you know what I mean? And working and retiring. And now that he's retired, he wished he would have just stopped for a moment and paid attention to what was going on around him. But when you're so focused on working and getting to that retirement at 66 and your 401k and all this stuff that's promised to you, you look back and you realize you missed out on a lot of things. And I give you an example. My father lost about $500,000 in his retirement fund. In due to the companies that he worked for, and he worked for major companies. And so now that my father is retired, he's still working. And that's probably 75%. And I don't know the numbers. I'm just exaggerating numbers, right? But I do know that there's a lot of people that I see that are over 66 and 65 years old
Yes,
working at Starbucks, working at Walmart, working at
absolutely.
Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean? Because of they believed in this dream, and something along that lines failed them. You know, and it was due to some stocks that the companies were indebted in that failed my dad with $500,000 missing, and there was nothing he could do about it. There was a big lawsuit, but from what I understand, nothing came out of it. You know, so and then as far as investments, like I said, I've been stocking, saving up on gold and silver and rare coins since 2015. Um, you know,
And you think
I've
that's worth
opened,
it?
huh?
You think it's worth it? Can you
I
explain
do.
why?
I do. Well, you know what? When I was buying, I give you an example. Just 3 years ago, when I was buying go backs, um, 124 karat gold, 1,000 gold back was like $2.32. You know, now they're like $11. You know, so that's a huge jump. Matter of fact, even there are 4 or 5 states now that are accepting go backs as legal tender. And matter of fact, Missouri is one. I just purchased some cigars from a customer from a place here in Missouri, and I used my gold backs to purchase those cigars. You know what I mean? So I didn't even have to pull out fiat currency, which is not backed up by anything, has no intrinsic value. You know, and I think that's another part of the American dream is that the money and fiat currency that we use has no true value. It only has value because of what we believe, but
Yeah.
it really doesn't, you know. So you have to learn to expand your portfolio, as people say, with different things, you know. So but rare coins, my kids have some CDs that I've been pushing out for them for a couple years now. So life insurance policies, irrevocable trust, you know. So matter of fact, I just spoke to a gentleman today where I bought my cigars from. I said, hey, I own a security company here in Missouri, and you own a cigar shop. Have you ever thought about opening up a safe deposit box business where people can store their gold and their silver? And my security company can, protect these items of your customers. He thought it was a wonderful idea. You know what I mean? And so, but anyway, I mean, that's up to him to do that. But I'm just saying, but as far as investments, I had really been doing some good things in the thought of my kids, because I realized buying them toys, or my parents send money, for their birthdays or whatever the case may be. It's just a waste. It's just a waste. You buy a dress for $20, she can't wear it in 6 weeks, or she or she spills something on it, and it's. But instead of doing that, I'll take that $20 and put it in her CD. So I'm definitely looking. My kids would be very happy when they reach of age or when I pass on. That they should be very well. They should do very well, and that's a chance that I didn't get because my family didn't understand it, and to this day still doesn't.
That's all good stuff. Very beautiful stuff. And so there was two more, a little bit more to that question. So it was labor and ownership, and building something that outlives you. And I believe you guys have covered all of that, all those things. And to add to, one thing that Chris was talking about, financial education. Man,
Yes,
and that is absolutely something that you are
it
not
is.
taught in school. I do not
Right.
understand why, because that is, capitalism, as Corey had mentioned, is how the world works, and not to not to have that a part of the curriculum is a is a should be against the law. Should be
Right.
against the law. And to, you gentlemen speak about, the rich, or have you want to, the wealth, as they say, they have seven streams of income, so to speak, coming in. They don't put all their eggs in one basket. They do branch
Right.
out. And so to
Right.
what Haru and Christopher are talking about, entrepreneurship is awesome.
Yes.
You know, the world is wide open right now as far as that goes. You have plenty of opportunities to do those things, and along with investing as well. So that's a great question. Very good stuff, gentlemen. Very
Yes.
good stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, last one.
Yes, sir. All right, what's up? Let's go. Let's go.
Boom, boom.
Okay. Here's topic number 5. Is it a myth? Are there really differences between millennium, X, and Z? Corey,
Can you repeat that one more time, please?
is it a myth? Are there really differences between millennium, X, and Z?
Between millennials, X, and Generation Z.
Yes.
Yes. Muted.
Oh, you muted, Corey. Hold on.
Sorry about that, gentlemen. Yeah, is there a difference between is there a difference between our generation? I believe that my generation was a pretty good generation. I was born in '82, and I was born in '82. So anything close to that, give or take, is I believe that we had, we were the generation that had to come in when the street lights were on. But we had a lot of freedom, and we had a lot of you know what I mean? And we had a lot of, we could venture out. We weren't tied to our tablets and iPads and all these things that are, we call it, in my house, we call it brain rot. These tablets and stuff. We got to, look at, read books and, use your imagination. So yes, I believe that there's a big difference. The younger generation, I believe that what is that, Generation X, not X,
Yes.
but I don't know,
Z.
the generation younger than us. We perpetuated some youngsters that are weak. I hate to say it like that, but they're kind of weak. And hopefully we'll change that, with our kids and stuff, man, because these kids are weak, man. They don't, they don't use their imagination. So yeah, to that question, yeah, I think that we're a little different. My wife's parents, I think they were the silent generation, the generation where everything was taken to the grave. There's a lot
Right.
of secrets and stuff, like so yeah, I do believe that the generations are a lot different, man. I could go in on it, but yeah, I do believe the youngsters are a little bit weak. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, that's all I got, gents. Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely believe it's not a myth that there's definitely huge differences between generations, between X millennials and Gen Z. I was born in '88, so that makes me a millennial.
There you go.
But in my experience, I'm a old millennial, and so I kind of experienced. I think my generation specifically, I've experienced technology, and I think that's the biggest. I think the differences between our generations, those three, I think is technology, is really the difference that changed the culture for everything, to music, to clothes, to anything you can think of. It was really because of technology. And so I had the unique experience as a child to experience the world before the internet.
Right. Right.
And so I experienced, talking about coming at home when the lights come on at nighttime. I experienced all that. And then also in my childhood, I experienced the whole thing of technology, except when I turned 8 years old. I was born in Pennsylvania, lived there till I was 8, and then going up and down the mountains. And then I moved to Missouri when I was 9. And since then, my mom got into a apostolic Pentecostal church, and we grew up without technology at all. Um, but and then so I didn't grow up with technology, so I had that experience. But I also went to public school, so I experienced there in some sorts. But to fast forward to the Gen Z, and we think these are lazy people. The kids are not lazy, and they're not stupid, and they're not dumb. The way we think is really it's their parents, it's how they're raising them. But also they grew up in a world of convenience where everything is there for them. So they do feel entitlement, but I don't. But a lot of people view that as them being it's their fault. Like, nah, they're just kids, man. Like it's not their fault. It's just the world that they grew up in, and they never experienced hard work. They never realized that this technology they was born in is a tool. They just think it's there and it's part of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's our
So,
job to teach these kids what the technology is and get them out of that hole. They're not
that's right.
lazy. They're just
That's right.
different.
So forgive me for the gentleman, but I know we not supposed to look stuff up, but I had to look this up because I didn't truly understand the question until I hear you guys talk. So let me just read this real quick, So Generation X is approximately 1965 to 1980, are independent, resourceful, value work-life balance, where millennials 1981 to 1996 are tech adaptable, collaborative, and prioritize professional growth. Gen Z, 1997 to 2012, are digital natives valuing diversity, social impact, and financial stability. So, as Chris was talking about, so with that being, I'm ancient, if that's the case. I'm ancient, so you know, in those terms. So, I remember there was no technology in the beginning for me. However, when things started to come out, I remember those cell phones. You know, that cell phone was by that damn big. You know, hold that thing up on your palm. That, that. Then you
Right.
came up with the sky pages. You know, that all that stuff was popular
Yep.
back then. Man. So I remember all that stuff. You know,
Right.
and so, you know, as Corey had mentioned too, I bet had my butt in that house before them street lights went off. That was no game.
Right.
Be home. You know,
Right.
there was no
Right.
joke on that. And you know,
Right.
to the point that Chris mentioned about the you know the newer generations and about them being lazy, and I think there's absolutely a gap. You know, when he mentioned the parents, you know, the parents grew up because it's changed so fast. You know, technology is ever changing and changed so fast, so it's hard for the parents to even catch up, let alone to accept it. You know, but the
Right.
kids are like,
Right.
you understand what I'm saying? So the kids are already like,
Hmm.
Right.
oh, I want
Right.
our mom used to.
Right.
So there's always gonna be unless the parents can get off, you know, be like, well, I don't need technology. Yes, you do need technology because that's where it's going. So I think that's definitely a part of the problem. But
Right.
yeah, man,
Right.
I don't like that, but I'm not ancient, but that's what it's saying. Saying I'm ancient, I'm not.
Right. Oh man, oh man. So I man, all what you guys said was like either how I felt or what I'm feeling. You know,
Right.
at one time I was with Corey, I was like these mofos is lazy. They telling me
Right.
they don't want to work. You know,
Yeah.
buy me this, buy me that. You know what I mean? And then I had to step aside and pull a Chris and be like, all right, what am I doing wrong? You know what I mean? Let me look into
Right.
myself and figure out what I'm
Right.
doing wrong. You know what I mean? And then, you know, I went to Robert and I'm like, okay, they are different. I know Chris said the same thing, but Robert emphasized that they are different. You know what I mean? They're not built like us. You know what I mean? You know, I give you just a quick example. My son was like, Dad, I want to be a cop in Dallas. I'm like, no, you're not. Okay, no, you're not. All right, you know, and
I know a
so
couple cops in Dallas.
yeah, yeah, no doubt. You know, so but I'm with all you guys too as far as the technology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Robert too. I had just posted some on Facebook and a couple of days ago, and based upon what Robert's saying and what it's saying, this is offer earn your leisure. It says recent studies suggest that Generation Z is the first generation with lower IQ scores than their parents, potentially linked to heavy AI dependence. And so, but when you're on that phone and you're on these different social media sites, you're being influenced heavily by what
Absolutely.
whoever and whatever people say. I can have a conversation with my kids and they be like, "No, Dad, this is true. It's on Instagram," and I'm like,
Right.
What'd you just say? What you just say? It's on Instagram, so it's got to be true because it's on Instagram." But they argue me down, argue
Yes.
me down, you know. Or
Yes.
hey, Dad, we did this dance, boy. Brent Michaels was doing that dance back in 1980. He was flipping off that WWE rope. What are you talking about? You know what I mean?
That's
So,
right.
Right. Right.
you know, but yeah, I mean, they are different. You know what I mean? And to even know, my wife and I looked this up last night. It's funny we were talking about this. The next generation would be Generation Alpha, and then Beta. You know, but I do think, and I do feel there is some meant to be, okay, when it comes to that. You know what I mean? As we as parents, we're here to guide our children. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? In their aspects. And it's really not, no matter which way they turn, that is the way that they chose. No matter
Sure.
what no matter what we've done. If we raise them in church, or we raise them in a military family, or we raise them, to be successful young men and women, they're gonna always have their choice. And so at the
Yeah.
same time, when it comes to that, we are different and we are meant to be different because we
Yeah.
all play a different part in society, in the world
Right.
society.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
all I got.
Yeah.
Please.
Gentlemen, that was all 5 topics for tonight. Listen, the conversation was marvelous. The conversation was beautiful. I like the input from everybody. Hey, listen, almost had me crying on this thing.
Say,
I mean,
hey,
what
me both. You and me both.
like that hit me so hard.
Right.
Chris, I mean, the Chris did that, and I'm like, golly, like, damn, and that's like
Right.
almost had me in tears. But that just
Yeah.
goes to show you that the positivity and the love that's flowing through this thing, brother.
True.
You know,
Yes.
those we're being vulnerable at that
Right.
point, and that's what makes it
Right.
real, and that's what makes it good and positive.
Right.
Um,
Right.
golly, that was good stuff, brother. Good stuff.
Brother, I
Good
love
stuff on
y'all.
that, man.
Yeah, I love y'all.
Absolutely.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How'd you feel about the questions?
I think they were
I enjoyed
great.
them. I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah, just I
Definitely.
mean, make you
Yeah,
think
definitely.
right off the top.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, they definitely provoked some thought. So I liked it.
True.
I enjoyed it, man.
And
I enjoyed,
emotions.
hearing
And
each
and
every one of y'all.
emotions.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Might need
And
to,
so
hey,
with
hey,
that-
one of these topics might need to go. Might need to go there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of these discussions might need to go there, man. Get deeper in there, man. Might,
Yeah.
it was very good, man.
I mean, it caught me off guard because I it caught me off guard. I was not expecting that to happen. You know, like I said, it's not. I'm not ashamed of being a Marine. I love the Marine Corps. I am a Marine through and through.
Super
Don't
fine.
talk about that very often.
Right. Yes.
But yeah, that was hey, and then you know what? It's okay to be vulnerable. That's what makes
It
you
is. Yes.
that's what makes you beautiful. You know, you got to have
Right.
that side. It's not just about being hard and enclosed in yourself, man. You know, we're talking here about trying to reach people and open up discussions and things like that. So vulnerability is, you know, should be a part of that. Should be a part of
Yeah.
that as well.
Yeah. 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 I like when Chris
All
said
right, so
earlier,
now
man.
we're gonna go to spotlight on beautiful people.
All right, all right, all right. So spotlight for tonight. All right, spotlight, and what we're gonna do every Tuesday, we're gonna pick somebody that never really had the spotlight on them, no matter who it is. You know what I mean? And so we want to be able to put a spotlight on them tonight and just, show them some praise. So maybe even after I read this, maybe do a 10-second clap just to show our appreciation for the spotlight, okay? So the spotlight for tonight is Lewis Howard Latimer, 1848 through 1928. He was an engineer, drafting, innovation, intellectual property. Why Latimer matters. Edison made the light bulb famous. Latimer made it usable. Without Latimer's work, electric lighting would have remained too fragile, too expensive, and impractical for homes and for cities. Latimer didn't just help inventions, he translated ideas into systems that worked in the real world. Born to former slave parents, largely self educated, enlisted into the Union Navy at 16, learning technology drafts on into the job. Let's see here. So, what ended up happening? Major contributions. Telephone patent. Alexander Graham Bell. Latimer worked as a patent draftman. He drew the technical diagrams for Bell's telephone patent. These drawings were filed just hours before a competitor inventor. So Latimer also was inducted into Edison Pioneers. At the time, he was the only African American man pioneered into Edison's Pioneers as part of the invention of the light. All right. So if you guys would for me, let's give Lewis Howard Latimer a round of applause and just show him some love for what he done for us and what he's continued to do. All right. So yeah,
Absolutely.
you guys look out next Tuesday for our new spotlight, and we will continue to do this every Tuesday.
Absolutely. Beautiful show tonight. Beautiful, beautiful show tonight. We encourage the likes, the thoughts, the suggestions, any questions you might have. Put them in the comments section. And until next time, peace.
See y'all later.